Friend of the show, Prince Harry, has been back in the news today, speaking for the first time in public about his father, the King's cancer diagnosis. Well, he told ABC's Good Morning America that the sad news may help to reunify the royals, while also mentioning that he'd considered becoming a US citizen in the past, although it was not his top priority right now. Look, I caught up a little bit earlier on with Paul Burrell, former butler to Princess Diana, and found out what he made of a whole host of things, and, as well, he has some quite concerning thoughts on the King's health. Watch this.
Hey, Paul, look, thank you very, very much for joining us. What do you make of Harry's claim that he hopes that the King's illness will bring the family closer together? Any chance?
I don't think so, Patrick. I hoped for that, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. That short meeting which Harry had with his father at Clarence House isn't going to bring the entire family together, because William's made it quite clear he's drawn a line in the sand, and he doesn't really want to see his brother. You know, you can't really blame him, and you wonder why Harry got on an airplane and came all that way. Well, he came because he wanted to see his sick father. But did he come for himself, his father, or his media profile? And I think it was a little bit of everything. And I'm a little bit cynical about Harry these days, because he is a tricky character.
Well, I mean, he quite possibly has now spent longer talking to the American press about the situation than he actually spent talking to his own father, hasn't he?
Yeah, during our meeting at Clarence House, I think, knowing the King, knowing him very well, he would have made it quite clear to Harry that he does not want his condition to be made public. He does not want the American public to know what is exactly wrong with him. And Harry heard that loud and clear, because he went back to America with his tail between his legs, didn't he?
He did, yes. And obviously he's decided now not to reveal that on American press. That was the fear this morning, I think, when we first realised he was going to be doing that.
I think he was.
You think he was going to?
Yeah. Yes, I think he probably was thinking about it, because it would be a great asset for him, wouldn't it, to suddenly claim, oh, the King has this, he has that. But he knew in the back of his head that he shouldn't say anything. Patrick, this all harks back to me to the meeting which Harry had with the Queen and Prince Philip at Sandringham, when he said to his grandmother, our dear late Queen, that he wouldn't use the royal titles for commercial gain, and that the Queen said to him, Harry, you can't, and you can't have 1 foot in the camp and 1 foot outside. Harry has forgotten that meeting, he's forgotten those words, and he's just gone off on a tangent, and he's doing exactly what his grandmother didn't want him to do.
No, it's very depressing, isn't it? And he was even saying...
It just continues. It goes on and on and on. And the reason it goes on and on is because Harry's USP is being royal. He's a royal prince. And the minute he's not a royal prince and not attached to our royal family, then what's his worth?
So do you think that there is seriously a chance that the only reason he got on a flight and came back to see our King was so that he could then continue to convince Americans that he was somehow close to the royal family and that he's in the know, or he must really know what's going on, and it adds that intrigue for him?
Yeah, well, obviously, Harry was worried about his father, and he wanted to come over to the United Kingdom, but it does serve him very well, doesn't it? It serves his public and his profile and his charity very well to be still connected to the royal family, because without that, what is he worth? He's worth not very much.
No, exactly. He also said today that he thought about getting US citizenship. I just wonder if that's a slap in the face again to the royal family there.
I think it is, because this harks back again to Wallis Simpson and the abdication all those years ago, and the American being in the family. And now one of their own is defecting to America, and that doesn't sit very well with our royal family. I don't think it sits very well with the British people. He's no longer British in our eyes. He has turned his back on the country, on the people and his family, and quite frankly, why doesn't he become an American citizen? Because he should stay in America and work there and live there and be happy. He says he's happy. in America. I'm happy for him, and he should stay there with his wife and children.
So you think that he actually should just press ahead with it and do it, stay there, not keep bothering us, essentially, and just go and become a US citizen?
I do, because Patrick, he's become an embarrassment to the country and the British royal family. And the sooner he cuts ties with everyone here and lives his life out, I'm very happy for him to live his life out on the Californian coast. Just do what you want to do, Harry, but stop interfering in family politics and stop interfering in the royal family. They're fine without you. We'll survive without you and Meghan, and we'll get on with it very nicely. You know, Patrick, this is the end of the line, really, isn't it? I mean, how many times can he reinvent himself? How many times can he and the Duchess reinvent their charity and their website? This is the 4th time in 5 years that he's actually come out with a different face. And how many times can he do that?
Just lastly, do you think the king will have actually told Harry the specifics of what's wrong with him? Because there is always that concern.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would think the king has told Harry, and he's told him in no uncertain terms, you must not repeat this to anyone. And if this leaks out in the United States, the shutters will come down once and for all. This is Harry's test. Really, he's been back to Britain, he's seen his father, and he knows what's wrong with him. And if it leaks out from the Sussex camp, that's the end of the game.
Okay, look, Paul, very, very finally on this, I'm obviously not for a single second asking you to divulge anything that you may or may not know about the king or anything like that, but I think there is some concern as to exactly how worried we should be about the king with this. Do you have any idea about that?
Yes, I think we should be worried about the king's health. He's in his mid-70s. They have discovered this cancer whilst exploring for other possible cancers, and this was a mistake. The fact that they caught it very early, I think, is a very strong sign that there is a treatment for it. But he is older than William and Kate, and, you know, I just can't help but think he's come to the job late in the day. He's got everything he could possibly want, including the woman he loves by his side. And what a cruel twist of fate it is that he is struck down with a cancer. And how long can he survive? Our dear late Queen probably had some form of cancer herself. It was never revealed. We do not know what she died of, but she lasted a year after her diagnosis. And I wonder what the king is thinking right now. He's thinking to live life to the full and to do what he can, because the time clock is ticking.
All right, Paul, thank you very, very much. As ever, that is Paul Burrell there. We will chat again soon. Take care. Look after yourself.
Well, it's very concerning stuff. Paul Burrell there, who's, of course, Diana's former butler.